whatever money is in the s-corp and whatever money the s-corp makes, and when I say s-corp, I mean your LLC taxed as an s-corp,
Hmm.
it's going to be put into a bucket with whatever money a mod makes because it's a pass through. So anything that you and the company make gets all combined into one bucket for the tax return. And that's what you're going to show to get a loan for a home and get into real estate.
Hmm.
Just remember this one fact. Don't ever put investment properties into an S Corp. Bad idea. So you finally started your own business. Invest for the long term, and I'll show you exactly how. Be good to future you. All right, Amon, tell me about what you got going on, dude. What can I help you with today?
Okay, so I just recently got into a 1099 career.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and so I was watching one of your IG videos, and
Mm-hmm.
it was stating about like, well, the sole proprietors, the 1099, we're going to end up paying like 50, 60%.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, I don't have a business because I am working under somebody, 1099.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is there a way for me to transfer from that 60, 50, 60% percentile to the 20% business?
Hell yeah,
Will it
there is,
have to
dude.
be in the same field, or could I make like a? Because to be honest, I don't like no clue of what type of business like I want to start or begin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've been there. I get that. I get that. What kind of industry are you in right now? What are you doing as
I'm
1099
doing
work?
construction, so I'm basically a safety consultant. I make sure companies are OSHA compliant.
Oh, that's what my brother does. Nice. He works for
Okay, yeah,
ADP now, but yeah, he did do that. I'm familiar with that.
yeah.
Okay, so you're working as a 1099 employer, probably in Southern California. I'm just kidding. That's where he was doing it too. But so you're working as a 1099 employer doing compliance stuff for construction. And it's a really good question that you brought up. Right now, you're getting paid 1099. So basically, you're treated as an independent contractor, and a mod is earning money as a mod, which puts you in that S category.
Okay.
So first, we need to understand kind of the basis of the taxation for where you're at right now. Because you're self employed, you don't have a boss and you don't have employees. So the government says, hey, dude, you're working for yourself. So you have to pay an extra 15% in self employment tax. Medicare for the employer employee, Social Security for employer employee. Even though you don't have employees and whatnot, you still have to pay it for yourself. So it starts to really push your tax rate up.
Hmm.
It starts to affect you when you start making around $100,000 to $200,000 a year. That's when it starts making a really big difference in your tax status. It will affect you in the short term for sure below that, but just not as much as it would until you start making above the threshold of like 100 to 200,000. And
Hmm.
that's because below that, you can take advantage of certain things like write-offs and running other things through your company and things like that to lower your income. But the point is still there that you have to pay more in taxes than everybody else. So what do we got to do? The first step is to earn money. We want to get you to a point where you're making about $50,000 or more a year, because that threshold is the point in which it makes sense to spend a little bit of extra money to get yourself set up as a big business, like a corporation.
Now,
And what?
now, when you sorry about that. When you say the 50, now that is that coming from the 1099 or is that coming from separate?
Well, it depends. Do you have any other sources of income besides this 1099?
No, but my
Okay.
1099 job is paying me approximately 135.
Okay. So it would make sense, in my opinion, because you're not doing this as a normal business. You're not bootstrapping a company. You're literally a 1099 contractor. So what I suggest most contractors do is they form an LLC and they change their tax status to that in an S corp. So instead of your boss hiring you and 1099ing you a mod, he's instead going to hire your company that you own. The same work's going to be done, the same amount of pay. He's just paying a company instead of paying a person.
Okay.
It's no harder for him. In fact, it's easier. But it makes your life a lot better because now you've set up an LLC, you have it taxed as an S corp, and all the money's going to come into that business bank account you set up for that entity. And as the money comes in, you're going to spend it on your car and your cell phone and uniforms and other expenses that go into running your 1099 business, like driving
Okay.
from job site to job site. Then, when it comes time to pay you, you're going to have two things set up: a salary and distributions. So instead of you getting money from your boss in the form of a check, it's going to go to your company, and your company is going to pay you in two
Gotcha.
ways:
Okay.
distributions and salary. Now, the salary is still going to have to pay a self employment tax on. There's no way around that. And you have to have a salary. But the distributions are not subject to that 15% self employment tax we just talked about. So that's how it saves you money. It just lowers your taxable income and allows you
Okay.
to have more flexibility.
Okay.
Now, the reason I brought up that 50,000 number is because it costs a little bit of money to get that set up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You need a CPA who's going to help you file the right tax returns, and you need a bookkeeper to help manage the money, unless it's something that you're confident you can do on your own. But you still need payroll software. Payroll taxes got to come out of your paychecks. They got to go out every 2 weeks. And then you have to file a few extra forms, mainly the S-election form and getting your company all set up. And that is the best way to save taxes as a contractor. So it will take you some time in the beginning to get it all dialed in, a little bit of money. But once it's set up, you're going to be free rolling and you won't ever have to do it again, which
Okay.
is really cool.
Now, does that take away from, because also I'm looking into, by the end of this year, I'm looking into like getting kind of like involved in real estate.
Nice.
Now, um, I was speaking to a CPA and they were saying you should write off less taxes to show on paper that you make more. So when you go apply for that loan or whatever you need to for that building, it will show substantial amount of income
Yep.
instead of writing off everything. So would that interrupt that portion of me trying to show those earnings,
No,
doing it
because
through
you're
this way?
still going to be earning the same amount. You're just going to be paying less in taxes.
Okay.
So what they're talking about is you don't want to write off your whole life, because if you
Yeah.
write off your whole life, it'll bring your income down to like 10 grand a year, and you don't
Correct.
want that. But when you do it the way that I just talked about, you're still making the same amount. You're just splitting the money into two different categories, and you pay less taxes on the category on the right.
Okay. Okay.
So it won't affect your it'll affect the amount of money you keep at the end of the day, but it is not going to affect the amount of money that you earn in terms of reporting for a loan.
Okay.
Yeah, pass through. An S corp is pass through. So whatever money is in the S corp and whatever money the S corp makes, and when I say S corp, I mean your LLC taxed as an S corp.
Hmm.
It's going to be put into a bucket with whatever money a mod makes, because it's a pass through. So anything that you and the company make gets all combined into one bucket for the tax return, and that's what you're going to show to get a loan for a home and get into real estate.
Hmm.
Just remember this one fact: don't ever put investment properties into an S corp. Bad idea. Because I know where your head's at. I like it. Just don't just don't put it into an S corp. LLC is fine. That's great, but just not an S corp.
Okay. I think that's all I needed. As far as like me getting on track and doing it the correct way, because I've never done something like this before.
Yeah.
Do you have any like resources or a program or someone that I can work with to show me the steps? Basically, just
Mm-hmm.
not hold my hand, but kind of like, okay, what's next, and make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's.
Yeah. I got two solutions for you. The first one is I'm not finished with it yet, but I put together a whole business course. It's 50 videos that walks you through this whole setup,
Okay.
and I'll let you go through it for free, for fun. Like, I just want some feedback on it,
Okay.
because it's new and I just put it out there. I want to see if someone like yourself, who's never done this before, can take what I'm teaching through the screen and apply it. I'm really, really curious.
Okay.
Second thing, I'll link you up with my CPA, Steven, and he'll point you in the right direction and help you get set up. And if he isn't the right fit for you, then by all means, he'll point you in the right direction. That's how we
Okay.
do stuff. But he's my
Okay.
CPA. He's the one who sat down with me, figured out everything I wanted to accomplish, and said, here's what companies you need. Here's how you form them. We'll handle the rest.
Okay.
Okay, cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Hey, write this down. Steven at, that's STEVE. Yeah, let me just type it in the chat. There we go. Steven at creativeadvising.com. He can help you get your
Yeah.
entities formed and help you figure out what steps are next for you. And he can be the guy that can be that one-stop shop where you get a bookkeeper to
Yeah.
help you run payroll. You get the payroll services set up. He helps you form the entity and describes what you need to do. His firm will also file the S election. You get what you pay for, in my opinion.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
When you
Okay.
start getting into
Okay.
S-corps, if you don't follow the rules and you come in front of a judge or an auditor and your shit's not tight, dude,
Yeah.
they're going to slap your PP hard.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll definitely email him.
Cool. You got any other questions, Ahmad?
Oh, that was it.
Cool, man. I'm stoked. I like where your head's at, man.
I'm
Smart.
trying to get there, man. Trying to get there.
It's smart, dude. Like, you just want to pay less in taxes and do things the right way. And if only you
Yeah.
knew, like, if only you got taught this in school, or like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we here now. So
Yeah, exactly. Do me
yeah.
a favor and email me
Hmm.
in 2 weeks. So
Okay.
that way the course will be done by then, and I'll ship it over to you. And I think it's going to answer a ton of questions for you.
Okay.
I want to give it to you.
All right. Appreciate
Okay.
it, man. Appreciate that.
Of course. Thanks for waiting for me today. I was glad I
All
got
right.
to talk
No
to you.
problem. No problem.
Awesome. We'll chat soon.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, man.
All right. Bye.